This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Welcome to Classic Car Radio. I'm Keith McDonald. I'm here with Todd Byron and Steve Charbonneau, and Mike Carano has the night off. He's actually stranded out in Orlando right now, but welcome to you. It wasn't just New Year's Eve, it was New Year's Day. The Rod Run at Todd Byron's Dick Arbitel Memorial Rod Run, you call it?
Yeah.
They're still, yeah. Great. It was fantastic.
It was awesome.
I went to Sebastian to wait for you guys. You guys are all coming out of Cracker Barrel down in Vero.
Yeah.
And I figured if I got there at about 10, you guys would roll in about a half hour later. So I was able to get some photos there. I think by the time you guys showed up, Sebastian had about maybe, 40 cars. Nobody really counted, but then once you rolled in, someone counted 300 cars, so 312.
Yeah.
Did you say there were 312?
I had an older couple come to me, and they're members of the ACA, and they walked in and she goes, we walked this place and we count all these cars. My wife counted 312 cars.
Wow.
And my wife is, your wife is always right. I was like, yep, smart man.
Well,
definitely wasn't a lot of cars.
Yeah.
One guy told me he got to 300 and quit. He's like, I gave up. There were too many cars.
Yeah. Well, that's how I'm thinking, man, when he told me, I was like, oh boy, where are we going to put these cars? At my house. I didn't really think
yeah, because I pulled in, I headed down to try to help out any way I could, but I ended up standing around doing nothing because Julie had it all covered down there with all the people that were already there. The caterers were doing their thing, and she was running around doing a few things, but everybody else had it covered. And so I parked like in the circle, and she's like, you gotta get out of there. We got cars coming. I'm like, I'm way down there. And she said, no. She said, you're gonna have to move it eventually. So I went over to towards your barn,
Oh yeah.
That dirt road, grassy knoll that runs over to the barn, I parked up in there out of the way, some more cars.
Yeah.
And I was with Steve. He was running. We were running out of places. I'm looking down the road, and he's talking on the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And so, how many cars though? You said there wasn't really that many that came there
to my house.
To your house, yeah.
Well, Stephen, I don't know how accurate it was, but I think he counted a little over 150 at my house.
I swear there were more than that. Don't you, Steve?
I think there was.
I think so too.
I can tell you, there was definitely over 300 people.
Oh yeah.
Based off the food that I accounted for, with my caterer guy.
Yeah.
That was Ricky Hodge, so I'm giving a prop out to him.
Hodgepodge Barbecue.
Hodgepodge, yeah. He man, that guy does a phenomenal job when it comes to food. His food is so good.
But when I saw you in Sebastian, you said, I don't think we have enough food for everybody. There's so many cars that showed up, and so what I did was I stopped and I grabbed a hot dog at a Cumberland Farms and ate that on the way so I wouldn't have to eat,
Yeah.
One more spot for someone else. And then at the end of it all, the line was finally getting short. The line was always like 30 deep on the two lines, actually.
Yeah.
And I saw them finally starting to shorten. And I went and I looked, there was plenty of food left. So I went in and I grabbed a plate. It was good.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't eat much because
Ricky's good with that. It's not his first day. He knows because when I talked to him, and I was trying to tell him, I was like, "You're gonna have 300 plus." He kept cringing, looking at me. He's like, "No." Then we were at the car show up in Sebastian. We were up there at the meet, and I was looking at him. Oh man, you're definitely gonna have 300. He says, "Man, you better shut up with that."
Yeah.
And we waited till he got about 50 feet away, and then Steve Loudermilk comes over. He's like, "Hey, watch this." He gets his phone out. He's looking at his phone, and Steve texts me. He's like, "Oh, dude, definitely 300 plus." He looks up and does his little glasses thing. He's like, "Both of y'all."
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude, there's no way." Yeah. I'm telling you, because it gets bigger every year. I remember at the old shop, we used to have a party every year, and it grew at least 50 to 75 people every year.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like much, but when you're in a little shop and it's 50 to 75, and then you're hitting 350, 400 people, it adds up quick.
Yeah. Well, we used to do them at the fairgrounds during the gun show, and we would have the pavilion, and remember, every year we could fit 75 cars under the pavilion. That was it. And so we used to say the first 75 to show up. And when we said the gates open at 8, there would be guys lined up at 7:30 because they wanted to be underneath the pavilion and out of the sun. But most of the time, we got almost all of them in there.
Yep.
But the most we usually got about 125 really cars at the fairgrounds. But that's way back when before we were popular. So.
Yeah, he's got some pictures up on there now.
Yeah. There's these are all from Todd's, and I sent these over to Jesse. Thank you, Jesse, by the way.
Yeah,
and these are. I had to get a Pontiac. That's a 75 Le Mans, I believe.
He was going the wrong direction when I was on my way to the house.
Oh, was he really?
Well, you're just gonna have to, and I was kind of waiting because I was trying to get my point across to people, but a lot of people don't listen. As much as you try to tell them. My whole thing was I wanted at Riverside, I tried to get everybody together to where they could see the parking people in person.
Yeah.
So when they got there, they knew who to look for and not to ignore them and listen to them so they would know.
Right.
And they're going to be leaving early to go head that way, so you all know.
Right.
And we'll be leaving at 4 o'clock. Or what time did I say? I think
it was 1.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, yeah.
1 o'clock. And so the parking guys were got in their vehicle, started up and started leaving. So did everybody else. I'm thinking,
oh, yeah.
There was already people there before we even got there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When I got there were cars coming in. There, I didn't know who they were, but there were 2 or 3 cars came in.
It's funny because somebody called me, hey, there's cars coming in. The guy said, close the gate. Don't let them in.
Yeah.
Let them back up down the street because we can't let these people get in there and just park where they want because it's going to throw everything off.
Right. Because it's just so many.
Well, I had people over, Steve and the other people that were helping parking. I had them over the day before so we could go over the parking arrangements so we can get an idea of where to put these cars to try to not bottleneck everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it worked pretty good.
Yeah, I think it worked really good. Just we had a couple little stragglers and then a couple little people that try to sneak in and move around cars, but it worked out pretty well overall.
When the big circle filled up and we started filling the road coming in, and then I walked down to you. But as I was walking down, I looked out on 33rd, and there were cars backed way up to probably all the way to 66th. Just everyone's waiting to come in. Yeah, and I didn't think we're going to fit them all. I thought you're going to have to park them out on 33rd. Well, a lot of those guys got sick of being in line, and they parked down at the entry just inside the gate.
Yeah, I think Julie was down there doing them.
Oh, was she really?
Yeah, because I was keeping contact because she didn't have a walkie-talkie, so she was calling me on my cell. So, it was working out pretty good.
Oh, I didn't know she was down there.
Well, we were supposed to have Stephen was supposed to be down there.
Yeah, Stephen was supposed to be down there, parking. I ended up parking I'm pulling up and I'm like, oh my God, everybody's sitting. So I parked my truck as I was, the entrance in my property, and I jumped out and I ran all the way up to the house, and that's a long run.
Yeah.
I was like, but, and then helped them park. So it took a while to get them parked. I'm hoping next year some accusations or acquirances will take forth, and we'll be able to park in that property.
There you go. What do you think? We were out there at 45 minutes, maybe parking, just 45, maybe an hour even.
Yeah, 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah. A lot of cars, man. Yeah. It was just, and the weather was perfect. It was such a perfect day, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. Worked out great.
Yeah, there was a lot of nice cars, man. A lot of nice cars showed up.
Very nice.
Yeah, we even got a couple cars that we were driving around and people actually had their car out and they just, hey, where are all these cars going? They got me going somewhere and they just joined us.
Yeah, they just followed in.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the yellow Corvette, the guy come up with the top and everything. He had a 12-pack or a 6-pack of Heineken. He shouldn't have been driving.
Put some Tito's in the center console. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, no, don't run in it. Don't have an accident here. Go down the street. But it was really good. And everything went great, actually.
It was very smooth. Everything went very smoothly.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
So he raised a lot of money for a good cause. Tell us about that a little bit.
After, Dick had passed from cancer.
This is Mike's wagon, by the way.
Wagon. And you know, when he was diagnosed with cancer and that, and he was going in for his treatment, there was friends of his, or us, a few of us that all got together, and we helped him out. So he, you know, he didn't ask for it, and he made it known, you know. But
that was the show at over at Nissan, right?
Well, that show actually was.
That's where I met Dick for the first time.
Yeah, but before that, we a bunch of friends of his got together, and we took care of his shop rent and his phone and his house rent and stuff like that. While after he got his operation for a few months, to where he could get on it healthy enough to where he could come back and start working.
Right. Yeah.
And then me and Julie started this this car show for him to raise money. I went around and got all kinds of people, and they just donated everything. And we were actually going to do this car show at Hobart Park. But then we got to thinking about the dirt and everything. Well, I mentioned it to Tommy, and Tommy goes, well, why don't we do it here? I'm like, well, yeah, you sure? He goes, yeah, we'll just move all the cars back one day, and we'll put everything out in the front. And so he was very hospitable about doing that. And
yeah.
And it actually worked out phenomenal. And that car show raised $10,000.
Really?
Yeah, $10,000.
Wow.
And that was like, did good, you know, I mean, because he had a lot of bills, you know, medical bills and everything.
Of course, yeah.
And so in my mind, after his passing and that, and deciding to take over this, to keep this thing going, I just did it in memory of him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then about a month after last year's, my brother had passed from cancer, and I did the same thing for my brother, you know, because he had to go through surgery, and it was a long recovery for him. And after him passing, I was just thinking more and more about this. I said, you know, so many people come to me every time and ask me, hey, can I give you a little bit of money here? No, I do it because I'm blessed. You know, God's blessed me.
Right. Yeah.
Beyond means, I'm going to tell you.
Well, that's right.
And so I was just paying it forward. But I thought, you know, all these people willing to do this, why don't we put it to a good cause? And so we did, you know, so with all the raffles, and then we did a 50-50, and Rich Rhodes won it, and he gave that 50 his half back. That was $815. Yeah. So we raised $3,600 for a young girl. Her name is Jeannie Brown, and she's in North Carolina, and she's going through throat and mouth cancer. And actually, she sent us a picture today on Facebook. I didn't give it to him, but she's going through she's on her 4th treatment of radiation.
Yeah.
And she was in tears, you know, when Julie let her know what we did, and she was going to be the recipient of it.
Yeah.
She was just beside herself.
Yeah.
So, and Julie sent the check off today to her, and
that's great.
Hopefully it helps her out.
Yeah.
You know?
Fantastic. Yeah. Hey, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more about the show, put some more cars up on the screen, and we're Classic Car Radio. We'll be right back.
Offering 24/7 emergency services, Joe Scazzari Roof Services Consulting offers prompt handling of homeowners' insurance claims and has been serving the Treasure Coast for over 40 years. Scazzari's roofing experts can fabricate and install standing seam metal roofs on site, saving you thousands of dollars. And for those do-it-yourselfers, they can cut and fabricate your metal roof and deliver it right to your home or job site. Got a flat roof? Scazzari Roofing and Consulting specializes in all commercial and residential flat roofing systems. State certified and licensed, Scazzari Roofing and Consulting is family-owned and operated. Check out their website at roofservicesconsulting.com or give them a call at 772-388-7453 or toll free at 888-675-8106. Happy holidays from Scazzari Roofing and Consulting Contractors.
Have you ever wanted your carpets or area rugs cleaned, but you just didn't want to deal with the noise, the wet carpet, and that long dry time? And what happens to all that wet stuff underneath the carpet? Ew! Well, Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning solves all that with their guaranteed 1-hour dry time. Their low moisture process dries fast, smells great, and it's safe for your kids and pets too. And guess what? They also clean sofas, love seats, chairs, and recliners. Heaven's Best serves all of Indian River County and Barefoot Bay. They're bonded and insured, and your results are guaranteed. Don't put it off any longer. Grab your phone and call Keith at Heaven's Best, 772-643-6999. You'll be thrilled with the results. 772-643-6999.
Don't sweat in your boxers. Call the AC Doctors at 344-3944.
York, install confidence. Contact the AC Doctors, acdoctorsinc.com.
It feels like you've been struggling to hold it together for so long, for so many people, for the kids, for your parents, for your coworkers. Now it's your time to unstruggle. When life is a struggle, getting help shouldn't be. Visit unstruggle.org.
If you operate a small business, you need services like payroll, tax compliance, HR tools, and other resources. You need Complete Employee Solutions. Vero Beach has a team of professionals, including Anthony Sammons, Matt McCain, and Jennifer Comer, who saw the need for competent payroll, HR, and employee leasing services. Call Complete Employee Solutions at 772-978-7277 or visit their website at CompleteEmployeeSolutions.com.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio of Vero Beach. I'm Keith McDonald here with Steve Charbonneau and Todd Byron. And we're talking about the big Dick Garbertel Memorial Rod Run that took place on New Year's Day.
Yeah, New Year's Day.
And it was a fun day, a long day. I got a little sunburnt. Did you? Steve, you were out in the sun a lot. You must have got a little sun, didn't you?
Got a little on the back of my neck. That was about it.
Yeah, well, redneck. Everybody.
Yep. That happens. Get burned every time mowing the yard, working out in the yard.
No, I got it. I don't know. I was facing a lot, towards looking out at all the cars, and I was facing basically south, right? It's south and southwest facing, and So I got home. I felt it on my face and my arms. So they were beat red, but they definitely got burnt a little bit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people hang out in their chairs. That's why I say bring your chairs, because I got those all these exotic trees and big old mango tree, and they all sit like in the shade of those trees. So they all hung out there. A lot of people brought their food and went there. This for this year, I had built the new garage. And I went and got all, had all these tables and chairs brought in for people to eat. So that was all full with people.
Yeah, that was incredible. Every seat was taken. Yeah. I went way to the back, and John Stefanacci was back there, and I sat with him for a while and ate. Yeah. John's a good guy.
I had those stand-up. Julie goes, "We'll just get some of them stand-up tables."
Yeah, those are like pub tables. That's where I sat on one of the pub tables. Yeah, towards the back.
And then I had a couple tall chairs.
But you had those tables. Those are like seat 10 or 12. Those long tables.
Yeah.
And you had a bunch of them.
8 or 9 chairs on them.
Yeah. Well, you had. I bet there were 100 people sitting there just eating at those tables alone. I went out there and I'm looking around like there's not one chair available. I went towards the back and I saw John sitting there, so I ate with John, and I don't know if that's his wife he was with.
Yep.
Yeah, his wife. Yeah. They were very nice.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah. So
and new faces. Yeah.
We got any more cars to put up there, Jesse? At all? Are you back to square one here? Or?
That's on my long trip of my driveway.
Yeah.
And there, yeah.
Did we go through them already?
They had some.
I thought I sent you more. Maybe not.
The DJ was really good. He played some decent music.
Yeah, mostly country, right?
Playing a lot of old stuff. I know
old
there's
stuff in country too. And
if you go on Facebook and go under the Dick Arbitel New Year Memorial Rod Run page, Alex Overton, which is Stephen's wife, Stephen works with me. She took a lot of pictures and put a lot of them on there. So if you wanted them, you could. Yeah, I
reposted a bunch of those that she put up. I shared it on my page at least, and
or if they wanted them, I was thinking about on my way here that if people who listen to our show, if they out of the pictures that they looked at online, on Facebook, the ones that you posted, and that whichever car got the most, attention, I would put that particular car on our on next year's Dash Black.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean?
That's great. Great idea.
That. So that's a really nice truck.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I mean, I like the color.
Day-glow.
Kind of loud.
I like the loud colors on the trucks. There was a great looking orange older one there, and yellow too, right? Some bright trucks.
Had some lowriders on the one side. They parked him right down in the ditch. Poor guy.
And the rat rods, there were some rat rods there, and a couple of them
Joe's
at least.
Car right there. Right?
Oh, yeah?
That's Joe's.
What's that,
right?
Roadrunner?
Joe's Kazari's car, yep.
Yeah.
That's the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice car. A nice
and then the blue Camaro that was in one of the pictures, the 69 convertible, that's his wife Julie's car.
Yeah.
So that's older El Camino. Is that Joe? That's Joe Valenza's wife's car? Maybe. This Dart, I think it is.
Isn't it Claude's car?
Yeah, I thought that was Claude's car.
It could be.
Yeah, it's Claude.
Her car is very similar to that, but that looks a lot newer. So I don't think that's Valenza's wife.
You don't see many of them around.
It's Claude.
Yeah. You see a lot of those around though.
Oh yeah.
He was a nice guy. He was nice. I never met him before. When he was pulling, I was messing with him.
Yeah, the DJ was Kessler. I just know him by their last name, but they did a decent job, and
he was there. He was the first car when I pulled in. He was already parked.
Yeah, that was Steve. That's Steve. That's the other Parker guy.
Yeah, Steve had a Chevelle, right?
No, the Corvette.
Oh, did he really?
Corvette right there. It's it's got the wide body kit on it.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty.
Wow,
It's got an LS in it.
Pretty amazing.
In it, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, there's really quite a few nice rides.
Yeah.
This was
definitely
kind of low. I noticed when we went to Cracker Barrel and we all met there in the morning. I was at that point in time. I'm thinking, man, we got this many people here, and we're going to pick up all these other people in Sebastian. It could be a little.
Now, was Cracker Barrel crowded with everybody, and then people waiting for breakfast? Was it really bad, or was it okay?
They just never have enough staff.
Yeah.
Really?
It's New Year's and
half of us didn't even get to eat breakfast. We got there a few minutes after Todd. And we put our name in, and they never even called us before we left.
Really? Wow.
I was standing there, and all of a sudden I seen Stephen Loudermilk come up and say, "Hey, man, we got a table down here waiting for you." I'm like, "Really?"
Cool. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And Steve bought my breakfast. Normally
nice.
I buy the table with breakfast and went on the rod run, but I saved some money this year. Thanks, Stephen Loudermilk.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah. So,
but he was one of the guys parking, was he? He was doing parking, or
no?
Oh.
He was just in it. He had an older Bronco.
I think it was
I saw that. Yeah,
72 or 73 white Ford Bronco.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Him and his wife and their 2 daughters, and
he'd be a good guy to get parked because he could reinforce and you wouldn't miss him. That's what I did. I just kind of stood in the way so people couldn't get around.
Yeah.
Now, I talked to Brandon from Motor City Classics too. I talked to him for a while. Nice guy.
Yep.
And told him we're going to bring him on the show eventually, maybe soon.
Yeah. He had a nice Corvette.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
I
didn't know who he was. I just complimented him on the color. So I didn't even know it was him till Mike pointed out, "Oh, that's Brandon from Motor City." I was like, "Oh, really?" I went over and talked to him.
I actually looked at that car there. It was at that one show. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go on a little bit longer break, but we'll be back after the messages and whatever else they throw up there. We're Classic Car Radio.